The man in the crawl space. I've always been a skeptic. I don't believe in ghosts, demons, or the supernatural. But what happened to me during my junior year of med school in Chicago made me realize that the living are far more terrifying than the dead. I was broke, exhausted, and desperate for cheap housing near the hospital. That's how I found the garden-level studio. It was in an old Victorian house that had been subdivided into sketchy, affordable apartments. My unit was half underground. The windows were at street level, so my view was mostly just winter boots and tires crunching on the snow. It was dark, but the rent was unbeatable. Being a med student meant I was perpetually sleep-deprived. I was pulling 36-hour rotations and coming home feeling like a zombie. That's why, when things started feeling off in the apartment, I blamed my own brain. It started with small things. I'd leave the milk out or find lights on that I swore I turned off. Then it got weirder. I'd buy a family-sized box of Cheez-Its, eat a handful, and the next day the box would be half empty. My toilet seat would be left up, which is impossible since I lived alone and did unhave male guests. I honestly thought I was losing my mind or sleepwalking due to stress. I remember reading a thread on Reddit about a guy who thought his landlord was stalking him, but it turned out to be carbon monoxide poisoning, causing memory loss. Terrified, I went to Home Depot and bought a high-end detector. I plugged it in, waiting for the alarm to save me. It never went off. The atmosphere in that apartment grew heavy. I felt like I was being watched constantly, specifically near the closet. It was a massive walk-in with a high ceiling and an old, rusty HVAC vent cover up top. Sometimes, lying in bed, I swear I heard soft, rhythmic breathing that wasn't mine. One night, I had to leave for a graveyard shift, but I felt uneasy leaving my cat alone. I decided to set up my laptop on the kitchen counter, facing the main room. I turned on the webcam to record, hoping to catch my cat knocking things over so I could stop feeling crazy. I came home the next morning, dead on my feet. I checked the footage while drinking coffee. For the first 4 hours, nothing. Just silence. Then, around 2:15 a.m., the motion changed. My blood ran cold. The heavy metal grate on the closet ceiling slowly lifted up from the inside. A pair of dirty, bare legs swung down. A man dropped silently onto my floor. He was skeletal, wearing nothing but filthy, oversized boxers. He didn't look around. He knew exactly where he was. He walked to my fridge, drank directly from my juice carton, and then he went to my bed. He lay down on my sheets. He curled up with my pillow, burying his face in it, inhaling my scent. He lay there for an hour, just existing in my space, caressing the spot where I usually slept. Then, he stood up, climbed back up the shelves into the vent, and replaced the grate. I didn't even scream. I ran out the door and called 911 from the sidewalk, shaking uncontrollably. The police arrived and searched the building. They found a nest in the crawl space between the floors, connecting to the HVAC system. He had a sleeping bag, food wrappers, and a pee bottle. He had been living above me for months, listening to my conversations, eating my food, and watching me sleep through the slats of the vent. They never caught him. He likely heard the sirens and slipped out through the roof access. I moved out that same day. I still can't sleep with the lights off, and I check every vent in every room I enter. I know he's out there somewhere, looking for another warm spot to hide. So, to the man who lived in my ceiling and watched me dream, let's not meet.